Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Here on Abby the Witch, we do witchy and alternative things. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And if you are a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here today on Abby the Witch, we will be doing another tarot talk. And today we will be diving deep into the Suit of Cups. If you have any other different interpretations or any other meanings to these cards that you hold, comment down below and let me know. Just please be respectful and nice. If you are nasty or judgmental, your comment will be deleted and you will be blocked, just FYI. So let's go ahead and get started. So you guys, as you can see, I have them all lined up in a row. I couldn't fit, obviously, all of them into a row. But I'll just go ahead and shift around as I'm talking, okay? I like to talk about all the cards in order, and I like to just do a very brief discussion of each card in each suit. Obviously, if you guys have different interpretations or different meanings associated with each card, please comment down below. I do ask that you just stay respectful and kind. If not, you will get blocked and the comment will get removed, just FYI. So anyway, let's jump on in. So the Suit of Cups. Generally speaking, the Suit of Cups is associated with water, the element water. It's definitely associated with different relationships that you have. It's definitely associated with your emotions, your feelings, right? So very first up, we have the Ace of Cups, right? Now, just like any other suits, the Ace card is always, at least in my traditional tarot card deck and in most traditional tarot card decks, you have a hand coming out of a cloud holding the symbol of whatever is in that suit, right? In this case, obviously, it's a cup. As you can see, someone is like gracefully cupping the cup. In this case, it's a cup because it's the Suit of Cups. But yeah, I definitely associate this picture with overflowing with emotion, right? The Ace of Cups is also, again, this is all my interpretation, right? And what I feel and how I think. But the Ace of Cups is definitely associated with a new start or a new beginning. Lots of times it has to do with new relationships, right? And it comes up to encourage you to keep an open heart and keep an open heart to others, right? Again, when I see this picture, I really think of water pouring out of the cup like an overflowing heart, right? I always think of this cup as your heart, and the water flowing out of it is all of your love and all of your emotion, keeping your open heart, right? It really encourages accepting others and loving others and giving others a chance and not being so critical, keeping your cup overflowing with love, keeping your heart open, right? That's what I associate with the Ace of Cups. It has something to do with a new relationship, a new beginning. Now, to me, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, right? It can be a new friendship, maybe a new working relationship, maybe mother-daughter, whatever, right? Some kind of relationship. But it definitely encourages being open to it and keeping your heart open, for sure. Okay? Moving right along, let's move on to the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups has to really do with a one-on-one relationship or partnership that you have going on, right? It can be romantic, but just like the Ace of Cups, it doesn't have to be. But it definitely symbolizes mutual feelings, right? So you can even see in the picture, these two people both have cups and they're kind of reaching out to each other like, hey, I like your cup, you like mine? It's kind of a mutual relationship, right? It's a partnership where you both have the same feelings for one another. You're both on the same page with your relationship, right? It's a positive relationship. It's not toxic. The other person's not going behind your back and saying stuff, right? It's kind of like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That could definitely be going on with the Two of Cups, for sure. But it's definitely a loving, positive, receptive, open partnership or relationship going on, for sure, right? I mean, it says it right in the picture. There's definitely mutual feelings going on And the same feelings are on the table. Everything's on the table. There's no secretive, deceptive feelings going on, right? Definitely a positive relationship with another person for sure, okay? Moving right along, like I said, these are brief discussions brief interpretations that I have made on all these cards in the suits. So moving right along to the Three of Cups. Three of Cups does have to do with relationships and things like that, but it has more to do with having a gathering, really. I mean, you can see in the picture, there's multiple people, right? They're cheersing their cups together. So when the Three of Cups gets brought up, to me, it's really encouraging being social. It's really encouraging getting your friends together. It's really encouraging having a happy gathering, right? It might even encourage celebrating something, but celebrating something with other people, right? Really, it just has to do with celebrating your friendships, to me. And it really encourages coming together with your friends and just celebrating anything, life, your friendships that you have with these people. But it definitely has to do with getting together with people and being social and celebrating, right? Or being happy together. All right. So moving right along to the Four of Cups. When I see the Four of Cups, I really think of introspection. I think of encourages or as a sign of someone already looking inside of themselves for readjustment, right? So this is either encouraging you to look inside of yourself, or you already are. It gets brought up to symbolize that someone already is looking inside of themselves and maybe looking at something that they want to change, right, about themselves. It can also get brought up to symbolize that someone is feeling apathetic or maybe unmotivated, right? Because there is, when you are introspective, there might be something in yourself that you want to change or you want to grow, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's human, right? But if you feel like there's something inside of you that you don't like or that you need to change or that you're reflecting on, this card could be getting brought up to show that thing that you don't like about yourself or that you are reflecting on or that you want to change is making you feel maybe insecure or unmotivated or very apathetic, right? I mean, you can see right here, the Cloud is handing him the cup. Like, here, take it. Like, what's going on? And he's just kind of sitting there apathetic, like, I'm not feeling too great about myself. You know what I mean? So it really encourages looking at yourself, being introspective, and encourages changing that about yourself or working on that about yourself, whatever it is that's holding you back or making you feel apathetic, right? And to me, it's really like the Cloud handing them the cup is maybe it's trying to let the boy know what he's capable of if he actually reflected on himself, right? Sometimes I'm guilty of this. I know every person is at some point in their life is guilty of just kind of like going with the grind, right? And not really growing or changing yourself or learning about yourself, right? Or not being introspective or reflective on yourself, right? So I feel like this card gets brought up to let you know, like, hey, you need to take time to get to know yourself and to learn things about yourself and to reflect on yourself and what is something about yourself that you could change or grow. And he's kind of handing him this cup like, you have so much potential if you did that. But he's kind of just sitting there like, apathetic, right? So it encourages, in a nutshell, it encourages introspection and being reflective on one's own self, okay? All right, moving right along to the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is definitely, again, associated with feelings. Feeling disappointment, having regret, unexpected outcome. That's the biggest thing I feel like is associated with the Five of Cups is the unexpected outcome, right? Maybe there was a project that you are working on or something new you tried and weren't very experienced with and it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to be, or the outcome wasn't what you thought it was going to be, and you're feeling very disappointed by that. The Five of Cups comes up to remind you that life throws challenges and lessons at you, and you really just need to move on. You need to learn from it. You need to let it go and move on, right? And apply that new knowledge elsewhere. That's what the Five of Cups represents to me. If you look in the picture, she clearly looks somber and upset about something, right? She's very let down. But if you can really see on the bottom, she has 2 cups standing, but then 3 of them got knocked down, right? So to me, it's almost like she wasn't expecting them to get knocked down, and she's very disappointed by it, right? It definitely encourages getting those cups back up, learning from this lesson, and moving on. It really, really encourages moving on. That's how I view the Five of Cups, for sure. All right, guys, moving right along, we have the Six of Cups. I think the Six of Cups, this is super interesting, okay? When this card gets brought up, I always think of nostalgia. And I always think of the quote, nostalgia is a seductive liar. I can't take credit for that quote. I believe someone else made it. I don't know who originally made it. I got it from someone called Pretty and Punk on Instagram. She no longer has an account. I hope she's okay. But anyway, nostalgia is a seductive liar. That's kind of how I think of this card, right? Longing for the past, right? And it definitely tells us that it's okay to have these wonderful memories, but don't dwell on them for too long, though, right? And you can use experiences that you've had and even memories that you have of the past and use them in the present to make your present better, is what this is kind of saying. It's trying to tell you that the grass isn't actually greener on the other side, right? And you're daydreaming too much of the past and maybe your childhood or your teenage years, and how much better it was or how much more fun it was. But really, it's encouraging you to look in your present and to be grateful for things you have in the present. And it even really encourages things about your past, and encourages maybe lessons that you learned in the past, and encourages things that you loved doing in the past, and encourages you to bring those back from the past and put them in the present. Stop just daydreaming about it. Stop daydreaming about how you used to do things or whatever, and bring it forth, as long as it's not toxic, right? I mean, there's usually reasons that we stop doing things. There are definitely things in the past that I don't do anymore. But there are things in the past that I would love to start doing more of, like singing. I used to sing all the time. I used to upload my own songs. I used to write poetry, short stories all the time. And that was wonderful for me, right? When this card gets brought up, it encourages you to bring things like that you used to do back up again in the present. However, it definitely could signify that you, again, are doing the whole like grass is greener on the other side thing. You really need to start focusing on the present and things that you have and things that you're grateful for in the present. Because again, nostalgia can be a seductive liar, right? Meaning like, yeah, you have good memories and everything, but there's, like I said earlier, you have reasons why you quit things, right? Like for example, sometimes I daydream about like high school and all my friends and how much fun we used to have. But then I also remember like, oh wait, but I also had really low self-esteem and and I didn't make great grades because I felt unmotivated. And you know what I mean? Like there's definitely other things about the past other than just happiness, right? So just focusing on the happiness of the past can sometimes be very seductive, right? And it can lie to us like, yeah, you should start doing these things again. But then it's like, you remember how toxic it was, or there was at least toxic things associated with it. And that's why you stopped doing it, right? Anyway, so yeah, I always think of nostalgia and how it's kind of a good and bad thing with this card for sure, okay? Moving right along to the Seven of Cups. So when I see the Seven of Cups, I definitely affiliate that with almost like illusions of grandeur, right? Daydreaming objects objects and things that you can have. Temptation, desire for materialistic things. It definitely encourages not getting distracted by these shiny things that you want, right? And keep focused, right? Keep grounding so that you can pursue things that really, really matter, right? So I kind of think of the Seven of Cups as materialistic things that you want, very tangible things that you want or desire, right? Giving into those desires, those temptations, right? But it encourages looking past those things, and it encourages you to focus on things that matter in your journey, on your path, right? And it encourages you to, and it tells you really that if you focus on things that really matter, that you'll be more successful. That's how I view it, for sure. Okay. It definitely to me represents kind of having your head up in the clouds and daydreaming, when you should really be more down to earth and focusing on your present path, right? There's nothing wrong with manifesting things that you want. There's nothing wrong with that at all, actually. In fact, that's great. You should be doing that. But you shouldn't be focusing on it so much that you're not grounded. You're not thankful for things that you have. You're not grounded, or you're not thankful for your present, right? So being materialistic, it definitely has to do with like tangible things. Like you can see all these things in the cups, like there's some jewelry. There's all kinds of things, right? But you shouldn't get too wrapped up in things that you could have, when you should be focusing on things that you do have, right? While manifesting things that you want, for sure. So illusions of grandeur, daydreaming, being a little too materialistic, getting distracted maybe by these things, by these desires, for sure. Encourages coming back down to earth, absolutely. Okay, let's move on to the 8. So the 8 of Cups definitely encourages moving away from a situation, right? It encourages abandoning a certain situation, even if you've worked so hard on it. So as you can see, like these 8 cups are stacked so nicely, right? He's clearly worked very hard on it, but you can see that he's turning away from it and walking away. All right. Even if you've invested time and effort, it's time to move on to something more meaningful. Okay. So maybe this lots of times gets brought up when someone has been in the middle of something, or they've been hung up on something, or they've been so focused on something, right? And they finally realize, or need to realize, that this isn't really worth all of their effort anymore. It's not worth investing all of their time. It's not doing what they've hoped or what they thought it would do for them, right? I also kind of think of the 8 of Cups as like kind of getting into a routine a little too much. And I kind of think of this as following like a routine, a set routine over and over and over again, and kind of forgetting why you have that routine, or if this routine is benefiting you, right? Or maybe a workplace, or maybe, anything that you've been invested in, and kind of like absent-mindedly do it just because it's part of your routine. And you might not even realize that it could be toxic for you. It could be not even worth anything anymore. It could not be doing anything for you anymore. It could be just frustrating you more than anything. There could be a number of reasons why you've invested in something and it's time to walk away, right? It might be hard to walk away because you have put so much effort and time into it, but it's time to walk away. That's what I think of when I think of the 8 of Cups. When the 8 of Cups gets brought up, it's time to move away, no matter how much you've been working on it. No matter how much you've been working on it, right? It's time to move on. And like I said, it could be something that's just not serving you anymore. It might be something you've been doing for so long, and it's just so simple to you now, and you need more, right? That could be part of the reason why that cup is missing right there, is you have something missing. There is something missing that you need to move on to, right? You need to leave this situation and you need to move on to another one and feel more fulfilled. For sure. That's what I think of too when I think of the 8 of Cups. Absolutely. All right, moving on to the 9, guys. The 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups really represents to me, flip my notes over here, self-satisfaction, feeling good and doing good, proud of yourself. You're very, very proud of yourself, whether it's emotionally or spiritually. You've come very, very far, right? You've come very, very far, and you're very satisfied with where you are at independently on your path or your journey, right? Maybe you're feeling very, very confident. Maybe you have a lot of knowledge under your belt because you've invested a lot of time in learning something new. You could be very far on your spiritual path, right? And you're very close to being spiritually awakened, or you feel like you're becoming spiritually awakened, rather. Okay? So as you can see in the picture, he's a pretty proud dude. I mean, he's got all these cups. He's got all 9 cups lined up behind him. He's feeling good. He's feeling confident. He's feeling strong. He's like, yeah, I did this. See all these cups lined up behind me perfectly? I did that. That is my doing, right? So when I see the 9 of Cups, I think of pride. Pride and confidence and wisdom. You've come far, right? I almost think of maybe a little weathered, maybe a little beat up too, because you have come so far, right? But still very, very confident and wise in whatever you've been doing, for sure. So the 10 of Cups is very similar to the 9 of Cups, except that it's celebrating with others, right? So it shows a success with others. Where 9 of Cups shows self-satisfaction, the 10 of Cups really shows relationship satisfaction, okay? So love and being appreciative of loved ones in our life is really what I think of, right? So being very happy, there's a garbage truck driving by. Being very happy and fulfilled with people in your life, right? Maybe you're in a very, very happy marriage. Maybe you have a great job with great coworkers, right? Maybe you're a teacher and you have a great group of kids. I think that because I used to be a teacher and my mom's a teacher. But yeah, no, just being very, very satisfied with the people in your life, right? Are you when this gets brought up, I almost think of like you just got done filtering toxic people out of your life, right? And you're feeling very like content and happy with the people that are left over in your life, right? Satisfaction with others, satisfaction with relationships in your life, for sure, okay? Let's move on to the last 4 cards in this suit. All right, so moving right along, we have the Page of Cups. So the Page actually, personally, reminds me a lot of the Ace of Cups, okay? The Page of Cups really encourages keeping an open heart. It encourages open-mindedness to not only new relationships and new people and to new love, but it encourages open mindfulness to new ideas. It encourages open mindfulness to new information, to maybe to new ways of thinking, right? That's what I think of. And you can see in the picture, he's looking into the cup. So I almost think of it as, okay, you need to look into your heart and open it up, right? Now you can see that the Page is looking into his cup and he sees a little fish, right? He sees a little fish staring at him. Now, personally, it might symbolize like ever flowing, like maybe it represents the love that flows out of your heart. I'm not really sure. Comment down below if you have an idea of what the fish means, or if you really have done a lot of research on that and you feel like you know what that fish symbolizes. But to me, I'm not really sure, but I think it might be the fish represents like the love flowing out of your heart, right? So again, very similar to Ace of Cups. Encourages an open mind, encourages an open heart, for sure. Encourages you looking into your heart and opening up your heart. All right, so moving on to the Knight of Cups. The Knight, the Knight in this suit, now I said this in the last tarot talk, but no matter what suit it is, I always kind of view the Knight as guarding whatever symbol he is holding. So obviously in this case it's a cup because he's the Knight of Cups. So I almost view him as guarding his heart, right? As guarding your feelings, being your knight in shining armor. Now the Knight definitely represents only emotion, right? Like the Knight of Cups is not logical. He really does not use his brain. He only really thinks with his heart. He only really thinks with his emotion, right? So the Knight could be very impulsive because of things like that. As you can see, he holds the cup up. Like I said, it could be part of guarding it, but it's almost like wearing the heart on his sleeve. He's holding this cup up and open, in the wide open. He's holding his heart. He's wearing his heart on his sleeve, right? When I think of the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups is pure romantic, like doesn't really logically think about things, isn't really reasonable, is extremely impulsive, very romantic, very emotional, very in tune with his emotions, right? There's nothing wrong with being emotional, but he really doesn't balance it out at all with emotion. So I think of the Knight of Cups as really like, just like a young romantic, right? Maybe like you just met someone new and you're getting serious real fast, right? Knight of Cups is definitely almost like, I think of the song, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Again, just extremely romantically impulsive, right? Does not balance it out with logic or reason at all. He has a really great heart. He means well, right? But again, maybe just a little young and inexperienced, maybe just a full-fledged romantic too. I mean, maybe he just can't help himself. But it almost represents to me all of that, of course, but then also it's encouraging you to use more logic, right? When the Knight of Cups comes up, you might be infatuated with someone or something, right? And just not really thinking with your brain very much. So it could be encouraging that, like using more intellect rather than intuition, for sure. Okay guys, so I am back on here because the sound messed up at the ending of my video. So if it looks different, that's why. But we are down to the last two cards here in the Suit of Cups. We have the Queen and the King. Now, you will find, and at least I have found, and if you disagree, you can comment down below, but I have found that in any kind of alternative spirituality practice, male, female, femininity, masculinity, like they're all equal, right? One does not trump the other at all. And masculinity and femininity are just two different energies, right? It's not necessarily masculinity goes only with penis and femininity goes only with vagina. We definitely have both energies within us, right? The King and the Queen are equal, right? Just wanted to throw that out there. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups really represents great intuition, compassion, a warm heart, a very cool demeanor. She has intense psychic ability, right? Really great intuition. Whereas the Knight of Cups was a little bit more impulsive and hasty and thought only with feelings and with his heart, the Queen of Cups really listens to her gut, and she is very skilled at doing this, right? Like I said, very psychic. I believe that everyone is psychic or has the ability to be psychic or has the ability to open up their third eye and at least be intuitive. That's what I think anyway. Some have the ability more than others. Some have their third eye opened a little bit more than others. But yeah, she has become she is very experienced and is very able to be intuitive, the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I think of intuition, psychic abilities, warm heart, compassion, right? Thinking with her emotions, but not being hasty, right? Really has a good ability to listen to her gut, for sure. Now, if we look at the King of Cups is more of a balance, right? King of Cups shows balance between emotion and logic. King of Cups is being able to take your emotion and separate it from logic, looking at your emotions logically. Why, right? Why am I feeling this way? Because of this incredible ability that he has to balance his emotions and logic, he's also very diplomatic because of that. He can look at any situation between two people who are maybe being very using only emotions to communicate, maybe only anger, maybe only sadness. He's able to look at those emotions between two people, pull it apart and look at it logically, right? And help them. He's very diplomatic. because of that ability. I love the King of Cups. This is probably currently my favorite card in the whole tarot deck. Balance between emotion and logic is so important, at least for me. But yeah, definitely a very powerful, intense card. Not necessarily intense, but just powerful, right? I mean, logic, having that logic, that perfect balance between logic and emotion can get you places, man, for sure. Being less reactive, being able to think about your emotions. He has that ability, for sure. But anyway, guys, if you have a different interpretation of any of these cards in the Suit of Cups, please let me know down below. Again, please stay nice and respectful, but if you have different interpretations or questions or anything like that, please comment them down below. I also have an Instagram, Abby the Witch, just like it is here. So if you want to give me a follow over there, I do actual tarot card readings on my IGTV over there, if you're interested in that. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming over here and watching today. Until next time, I hope you stay well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.